The CEO froze, a $1 million deal hanging by a word no one could understand. Then, from the hallway, the janitor's daughter stepped forward and changed everything. The morning light hit the glass walls of Vortex Dynamics, a $1 billion AI startup rising like a silver spear in downtown San Jose. Employees in sharp suits flowed through the revolving doors, clutching oat milk lattes and ambition. At the far end of the lobby, a janitor named Clarence Hill mopped the marble floor with quiet rhythm. Slow, deliberate, respectful. His reflection shimmered on the clean surface beneath the giant company logo. He'd been working here 12 years. The same hallway, the same floor, the same polite nods that never reached his eyes. "Morning, Clarence," said Devon, the front desk clerk, typing fast. "Morning," Clarence replied, voice deep and humble. He moved to the elevators, always waiting for the executives to finish before pressing the button himself. It wasn't written anywhere, but he'd learned the unspoken rules. Behind the tinted glass of the boardroom upstairs, CEO Richard Caldwell rehearsed his pitch for the upcoming Japan Tech partnership, a deal worth millions. "Where's the translator?" Richard asked, glancing at his Rolex. "They're flying in tonight," his assistant replied. Richard exhaled. "Then let's hope nothing goes wrong." Downstairs, Clarence quietly hummed an old blues tune. His phone buzzed. A text from his daughter. "Tia. Dad, my interview's today. Wish me luck." Clarence smiled softly, replying with a voice note. "Go get 'em, baby girl. Show the world what they missed." Tia Hill, 24, African-American, brilliant eyes, simple jeans, and a thrifted blazer, stood outside the same building her father cleaned every night. She wasn't there for a visit. She was there for an internship interview at Vortex. The receptionist gave her the kind of smile people give when they're guessing your status. "Interview candidates, sign in here." "Thanks," Tia said, maintaining grace. In the elevator, a group of interns whispered about resumes and Ivy League degrees. She overheard Stanford, Harvard, and Daddy's connections. Tia had none of that. What she had was grit, and a father who taught her to shine floors until they reflected your soul. Inside HR, a woman scanned her application. Community college. Freelance translator? Yes, Japanese and English. Interesting, the woman said, clearly unconvinced. "We'll let you know." Outside, Tia met her father in the hallway by accident. "Baby girl, you done already?" "Yeah, guess they didn't need what I bring." Clarence looked at her face, pride covering disappointment. "Don't you ever think your worth is decided by folks who don't see you," he said quietly. "The floor shines, even if no one looks down." 2 days later, the Japan Tech executives arrived early, calm, polite, impeccably dressed in tailored suits. Their lead negotiator, Mr. Sato, spoke limited English. The official translator stuck in Seattle due to flight delays. Richard, the CEO, panicked. "What do you mean the translator isn't here? We have 1 hour before the meeting. Sir, I'm trying every language service." "No time," Richard barked. He turned to the room of staff scrambling around. "Anyone here speak Japanese?" Silence. "Anyone?" Heads shook. Eyes dropped. The air tightened. Then, from the hallway, a calm voice. "I do." Everyone turned. It was Tia, wearing her father's oversized jacket, holding a mop bucket. She'd stopped by to bring him lunch. Richard frowned. "You're a janitor?" Tia swallowed. "No, sir. My father is. I'm a translator." The room exchanged glances. Some surprised, some skeptical. "Really?" Richard asked sharply. "You can handle technical business terms? Contracts?" "Yes, sir," she said, standing straighter. "I studied linguistics and did translation work for a robotics firm last year." He hesitated. The room was spinning with tension. Finally, "Fine. You're all we've got. Don't mess this up, Clarence." Standing by the door with his mop, clenched his jaw, pride and fear mixing inside him like thunderclouds. The boardroom glowed with California sunlight bouncing off the glass table. Mr. Sato smiled politely as Tia bowed slightly in greeting, a gesture of respect she'd learned studying abroad. She began translating every line, fluid, precise, respectful. At first, Richard doubted. Then he noticed Mr. Sato's expression softening. The rhythm between them grew natural, human. When Mr. Sato made a cultural reference that would have been lost in direct translation, Tia adapted it gracefully. "He's saying that trust is like a bridge, built slow, but strong enough to carry the weight of silence." The executives nodded. The room warmed. Richard whispered to his CFO, "She's actually incredible." For the first time, Clarence's daughter wasn't invisible. She was the bridge. After 2 hours, the meeting paused for lunch. The deal was going well. But in the hallway, a senior exec named Tom Reeves smirked as Tia passed. "Didn't know janitors came bilingual now," he muttered. Tia froze. She looked at him, calm but burning inside. I'm a translator today, sir, she said quietly, but thank you for reminding me where I started. Clarence saw it all from the cleaning closet. His hands tightened on the mop. Years of swallowing humiliation pressed against his chest. When Tia entered the restroom to breathe, she saw her reflection. Her eyes glistened. You got this, T, she whispered. You belong here. Afternoon, the final presentation. Everything hinged on the last segment, discussing contract clauses involving AI ethics. Tia translated flawlessly until suddenly Mr. Sato's tone shifted. His voice trembled slightly. He spoke quickly. Too fast for Richard to catch. Tia froze. Words tumbled in her mind. Mr. Sato had just expressed serious moral concerns about the company's AI model, that it may discriminate in facial recognition for darker skin tones. The room went silent, all eyes on her. Richard leaned forward. What did he say? Tia hesitated. She knew the truth could cost them the deal or expose the company's bias. She breathed deeply. He said, your model might not treat everyone fairly, especially people who look like me. The words hit like thunder. Richard stiffened. The executives exchanged glances. Mr. Sato nodded, softly, firmly. This, Tia continued, is not an attack. He says it's a chance to make your product better for the world. A heavy silence fell. Richard looked down, then at her. For the first time, he saw her not as a face, but as a mirror. After a long pause, Richard stood. He turned to Mr. Sato. Tell him he's right. And tell him I want his help, Tia translated, voice steady but full of emotion. Mr. Sato smiled faintly, bowing in approval. The air shifted, from tension to respect. When the meeting ended, Mr. Sato shook Tia's hand personally. You are the reason trust was built, he said in Japanese. Your heart translated more than your words. Tia bowed, tears quietly falling. Clarence watched from the hall, hiding, proud, trembling. After the meeting, Richard found Clarence mopping the lobby again. You're her father? Clarence paused. Yes, sir. Richard looked at the floor, then at him. I didn't even know your name until today. And your daughter just saved this company. Clarence nodded slowly. She's been saving me my whole life. Richard exhaled, something breaking inside him, something ugly and long buried. I've built a company on innovation, he said quietly, but forgot the people who make it stand. He extended his hand. Clarence hesitated, then shook it, firm and dignified. The next week, Vortex Dynamics announced their new ethical AI division, led by a cross-cultural team. Tia was hired as the first official Japanese-English liaison and cultural consultant. During the press conference, Richard introduced her. Great ideas mean nothing if they can't speak to everyone. This young woman reminded us what true communication means. The audience applauded. Cameras flashed. Clarence stood at the back of the room, in his janitor's uniform, eyes glistening. Afterward, Tia ran to him and hugged him tight. We did it, Dad, he smiled through tears. No, you did it. You cleaned up more than floors today. You cleaned hearts night. The building was empty. The lobby floor gleamed. Clarence finished mopping and looked up at the company's motto engraved on the wall. Building the future, he whispered, only if we build it together. As he turned to leave, Tia arrived holding 2 coffees. Thought you might need one, she said, handing him a cup. They stood together in silence. Father and daughter, janitor and translator. Reflections glowing on the floor like 2 souls in light. The world outside buzzed with ambition, but here there was peace and dignity.